Hi, everybody. Thank you, David, for having me. Thank you so much. So I've got 30 minutes. Let's jump in so you guys get the most out of the 30 minutes of your time because I know how precious time is, and the fact that you guys are here is just so amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's dive in. Today, I want to talk about 4 steps to simplify your day trading and dominate the market under any condition. Yes, you could totally do that, and I want to go over those simple steps. But first, this is me. I am Marina, the Trader Chick. I am actually an expat living in Barcelona, Spain. We moved here about a year ago. Before that, we were expats in Central America. We lived in Costa Rica for about 7 years and then Guatemala for 14 years before taking the transatlantic journey to come to Barcelona. And this is me. I absolutely love it. And the other cool thing is I was a fitness instructor before I became a day trader and a travel writer. And the only real reason I say this is to inspire you guys that anyone can truly day trade. Because a lot of people have this misconception that it's only that people only who have math backgrounds or financial backgrounds or economic backgrounds. Well, I'm here to tell you that pretty much anyone can, and that's the best part about trading. So this is me. So today I want to jump into the 4 basic strategies so we can learn how to understand what the market is telling us. It's kind of like when you get in the car, there's these basics that you just know, right? Like you already are in automatic mode when you get in. You know where the brakes are, you know where the steering wheel is, you know where the accelerator is. But funny enough, we forget that we weren't born with that knowledge, right? We learned about that at one point. And today when we hop in, it's just so automatic that we can enjoy all the other stuff that the car gives us. And believe it or not, you could do the exact same thing with the market. And that's what I really want to talk to you guys about. Before I dive in, because this is going to be only a 30-minute presentation, it's going to go a little bit fast. I have the entire presentation for you completely for free. Makingofadaytrader.com. Go there right now. Makingofadaytrader.com. You will get the entire presentation for free. So this way you could go along here, and when you get the replay as well. All right, so market movement and the breakdown of a trend. Look, we all know that there are 3 trends logistically, right? We know there's an upward trend and then downward trend. But the most important trend, interestingly enough, is actually the sideways trend. Why? Because this is where the majority of our money gets lost. And if we could first spot the sideways trend and then avoid it, to save yourself money from entering bad trades and know when it breaks through or transitions where the most amount of money is made. This is all you'll need to know. And I can guarantee one thing, if you follow these points that I'm about to show you, you will be able to avoid this and know when the best time to enter trades. And that's the best thing. So what is an upward trend? This is when we enter a buy, right? So literally it's when each pivot is higher than the next. This is where we enter a buy. This is when we are going long. What does that mean? It literally means that you enter at a low, exit at a high, and boom. Okay, now what is a downward trend? This is literally where each pivot is lower than the next. This is where you are entering for a sell. This is when you are going short. And basically what this means, you're entering at a higher price point, exiting at a lower price point, and you are taking that profit in between. We don't really need to overthink any of this. And I know a lot of people get caught in, oh, but this people, if I am selling or going short, that means somebody's losing. We don't know who those somebodies are. We don't care who those somebodies are. All we know is that the technical analysis is showing us that this is how it works. Okay, so now let's talk about the sideways market. It is called the consolidation area, the transition area. I personally call it the trader's worst enemy. And once we learn how to spot it and avoid it, that is magic. Okay, so what is this? This is an area where it's a slowdown. It's a consolidation. It is the dead zone. It's the exhaustion pattern. It is the indecision. It is the chop. I don't care what you call it. What it is that there is absolutely no movement in the market. The market is literally flat. It's flatlining. Do you guys really want to risk your hard-earned money on a flatlining market? So why is it that we end up losing money in these markets? Interestingly enough, it's not because we don't understand what the market is telling us. On the contrary, it's quite obvious, right? We know that this is a consolidating market, this is a sideways market, but what happens is that we have this misconception that we need to beat the market or predict what the market is going to do and stuff like that. Instead, what we really need to do is just listen to what the market is telling us. And the other thing a lot of people do during these types of markets, during the sideways markets, is they like to pretend that they will know what's happening, right? So there's only two types of traders really out there. I don't care if there's millions of traders, but they all fall into two categories. One trader is the trend is your friend trader. So they're going to be looking at this kind of a market and they're going to see this consolidation. They're going to see, well, it's been going up all day. It's got to continue. I'm going to go long. I'm going to put in for a buy. Or the contrarian trader, right? And those traders are the ones that are seeing, you know what, the market's been going up all day. It's got to correct. I'm going in for a short. I'm going to sell. Neither of those are true. Right? Because the professional trader, which is actually the third category, they're the ones that sees this and they know that they have to just literally sit out. They sit out because the market is going into absolutely no man's land, indecision, and they don't want to risk their money on it. And that's what you need to do, right? That is why these areas are so dangerous. So if you go into your trading journals, into your back testing, you will see that this is where the majority of your money gets lost. And if you're not back testing, stop everything right now and start back testing immediately. Okay, this is crucial because when we can spot this, we can then spot when the breakouts and transitions happen. So how do we spot these areas? It is literally the support and resistance areas. Look, the market respects support and resistance areas, and we need to respect what the market respects, right? So what are support and resistance areas? Support area, you are heading down, like the market is going down, and all of a sudden it starts to hit it 2, 3, 4 times over and over again, forming a floor. That is a support area. That is an area that is respected, and that is an area that we need to, if you're in a trade, get out. If you're not in a trade, don't get in until it has broken the support or transition from it. But you can't just guess what's going to happen because that's kind of a coin toss. You need to have a strategy, right? Because you could also be stuck in a massive sideways channeling market. Massive, massive chop, right? Do you really want to be putting your money on that? No. So what is the resistance area? Again, same thing as a support area, only the opposite. The market is going up and then boom, it starts to hit it over and over and over and over and over again. It is the ceiling of the market. Okay, it is the ceiling of the market. And again, if the market is respecting it, we do too, because the market has a tendency to repeat the area and hit it over again. So the most important thing out of this is when you start to see this, you have to draw in your support and resistance areas. You could do this with any charting software. I don't care if it's just a line or if it's a rectangle or fancy, because the reality is if you don't have this and you have a mental resistance support area, it's literally the same as a mental stop, which we all know how those work, right? Yeah, it don't. So how do you recognize these when they are first beginning? Reversal areas, guys. Reversal areas are free. They are probably the simplest to spot. And once you spot them, you will be able to stay out of so many bad trades and recognize when it starts to shift. What is a reversal area? Double top, triple top, double bottom, triple bottom, head and shoulders. And when you're coupling that with divergence, it is literally the trader's map to shift in direction and trend. Here's a perfect example of a double bottom with divergence. I personally, when I already see double bottoms or any kind of reversal pattern, I do not go near the market. But when I see a double bottom And divergence, I know for a fact that this is 90% chance that it, first of all, could either go totally flat or reverse, but I'm not going to put any money in until I have confirmation. But my confirmation right now is telling me don't put any money in the market. Don't wait it out, because this is when it's losing its strength. As you can see here again, but I want you guys to look a little bit to the left, and you'll notice that the price action is going down, yet my MACDs, that's the red dotted lines, those are, for me, that is my favorite indicator. It's already going flat because it's already showing me divergence. What is that doing? It's already showing me and telling me that there is weakness in the market. And whenever there's any sort of weakness, I am conservative. I like to hold onto my money. I like to wait until the market gives me serious confirmation. So my trades are up to 90% entries, okay, and profits. All right, so having this information, we can now put it to good use, because why? One of the most powerful trades out there is the breakout trade, guys, right? We know it is the highest profitable trade out there. But how do you spot them? It's when you start to draw in your support or resistance areas. And then if it breaks through, that's when we could enter. So what exactly is a breakout trade? Oops. So let's first, again, you have access to this whole presentation, because I know that we are already running out, we're running out of time. You could go through all of this slowly, stopping and going. Go to makingofadaytrader.com and you will immediately get this presentation. So how do we work with breakout trades? So this is the way I look at it. As you can see, I have a pretty significant resistance area. And then if you look at my MACDs, the dashed black line, that is the zero line. So anything close to the zero line is showing me that there's absolutely no strength. But all of a sudden, boom, the market breaks through, breaks out of the resistance area. That is, look at my MACDs. You can see how high they are. This is how I would enter them. This is what I look for, right? When that's strength. And let me tell you, when you start to spot these areas, you will see, I can guarantee a completely new market that you will be able to understand and work with and start to really become profitable. Here's another bonus trade setup. I personally call this the initial reaction trade setup. Why? Because just as powerful as a breakout trade, a new trend trade is even more, because once you have that energy, that power of finally transitioning to a brand new trend, that is when you have the most amount of energy and you are running. Think of yourself when you want to go exercising for a jog. The second you step out that door, chances are that is when I can bet on you, to put my money on you, that you are going to run the furthest, right? Rather than 1 mile in and when you start to get a little bit tired, right? It's the same thing with a new trend. That is when the most amount of power is behind it. And when you can enter because you are spotting it, that is when you can go for the biggest profit targets. All right, guys, this is the most beautiful trade. Personally, one of my absolute favorites. It's that initial instant reaction, right? Bam, once you see it happening, the MACDs are running, everything is aligned, you enter, and that is when you could go for the biggest amount of profit targets. Okay, look, we have absolutely everything that we need in front of us, right? We have absolutely everything we need. We have these amazing summits, right? These presentations. We have YouTubers. We have podcasts. We have incredible books. We have, I mean, there's so many things out there today. It's incredible, right? But at the end of the day, how do you know that you are actually doing it right? How do you know that you're doing it right? Because with all these tools, you're still coming back, sitting in front of your screen, and you're really not that sure what to do next. Because all of this is great. And the real question truly is, how do I get started? This isn't for the beginners only, right? I get this from seasoned traders all the time. Like, how do I turn this around? How do I become profitable consistently? And I really, really, really deeply mean this, it's usually lacking those understanding of the basics. What I keep on saying is that a lot of times, people who want to become traders, there's zero barrier to entry into the financial markets, right? Anybody with a little bit or a lot of money could literally just go in and put in and think that they're going to become rich. And that's not true, right? So what they're doing is they're literally just putting in windows without any foundation, and the windows are constantly crashing, right? They're just crashing over and over and over again. Correct? But if you start to put in the foundation, those bricks, those basics that really hold up your foundation and your strategy, this is when you could truly start to become profitable. Now, imagine, I'm going to go back to the car analogy. Here, my oldest son just learned how to drive a car. Even though he's been sitting in the passenger seat for a majority of his life, when he sat down in the driver's seat and my husband's like, okay, so put on your seatbelt, put your gear into first with the clutch down and your brakes. Now, remove the brake very slowly and the clutch. And my son's like, wait, gear, clutch, brake, I don't understand what you're talking about, right? Because we're not born with this information. We have to be taught that. But honestly, it is the most basic thing, because if you can't figure out how to release the clutch and be in first gear, you're never going to get that car moving, right? Imagine even further. Imagine somebody who has never, ever been in a car before, sits in your car and you're like, okay, buckle up. That's going to save your life. And they're like, buckle up. What am I buckling up? This is going to save my life. They don't understand what that is, because remember, guys, we're not born with this information. And this was literally my own sad truth. I spent over $20,000 on my trainings. I am totally serious. And every time I was asking these questions, can you please explain to me what is a reversal pattern? Can you please tell me how do I spot and draw in a resistance area? I was either ignored entirely or treated like I'm supposed to be born with this information. No one's born with this information. And once you have that information, it completely changes the way you could look at the market. And because I didn't have that, nobody helped me with that, I struggled for years, losing money, to the point where after a couple of years, I ended up losing almost $4,000 within 5 minutes. And I just felt like such a failure. And you know what? I quit and I walked away. And I walked away for about 4 months. But here's the thing. And I know that every single person in this room feels the same way. We all get bit by the trading bug, right? And the thing is, it does not stop itching. And do you know why? Because deep down inside, we know deep down inside that we can do this. We can do this. All right, guys, when I quit for those 4 months, I was watching other YouTubers or other people, and my mentors, I was talking, even though they were mentored, they weren't really helping me that much, but I saw them being able to do it. And I said to myself, if they could do it, so can I. And that's when I decided to get back to the basics. I literally donated 2 of my monitors. I had 3 in total, donated 2 of my monitors, removed all my indicators, and just watched the naked price action until I put in 2 indicators, and I just focused on the basics, and I studied them for years. Just a little bit while ago, one of my students said to me, Marina, your style is very similar, your teaching style is very similar to Coach John Wooden. I'm like, at that point, I never heard of Coach John Wooden. I'm like, who is this guy? So I look him up online, of course, and let me tell you, he was one of the most legendary basketball coaches ever. To this day, I truly believe. And his entire philosophy was, when in doubt, get back to the basics. I mean, this guy won 88 national championships, 10 NCAAs. He trained A-star players. Yet, every time they came back for a new season, he would start with the basics. How to tie your shoe, how to roll up your sock, how to dribble the ball, because it doesn't matter what your ego is telling you what you have done. But if you're on that field, on that court, and you're, dribbling the ball or whatever, and your shoe is not tied correctly and you sprain your ankle, you're out for the rest of the season, right? or at least for the rest of those a few games, correct? So it's all about getting back to the basics. And today, that is exactly what I have for you guys. I have a super special offer for participants only for people that are here today, right here. I so appreciate your time, and I know how valuable it is. And I'm offering my introductory course, Bootcamp for Day Trading. You could do this on any apparatus, your laptop, your desktop, your phones, any apparatus, your tablets, it doesn't matter. All of this for one price. There's no recurring fee at all. Now, you could go here right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go here right now to follow along to see everything that you're going to be getting. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Let me break this down for you. All right, what are you going to be getting? A simplified day trading package. Look, I know how important it is to understand your platforms, and I know that they can get complicated. So I have a 30-minute pro platform tutorial that works for any platform that you will be working on, because we do not want to be stuck figuring out the platform. We want to get to the good stuff, right? We want to start to trade and not worry about that. All right, then we get into the anatomy of the trends. This is the most important stuff, guys. This is literally your walls that is going to be holding up your windows. You have to understand the uptrending markets. You need to understand the downtrend markets, but you really, really need to understand those sideways markets, and that we can spot reversals and divergences. And once you understand these reversal patterns and divergences, I mean, everything will change, right? And support and resistance areas. There's a reason why the market respects them. And if we don't respect them, we will be losing that money. But we can respect it. We can fully understand it. And I talk all about that. And again, divergences. To me, divergences are my holy grail. I cannot even tell you the amount of times it has saved me out of bad trades and allowed me to enter really good trades. Unbelievable. It's my favorite. And it's so simple to spot. And once you spot that, boom, you can go into the breakout mastery. Okay? You could go into your breakout trades. And this is so important when you could spot them, and importantly, to avoid the fake out breakouts, because they happen. And if you could avoid the fake out breakout, that too will help save you money, so you could enter into the good one. All right, and then you get full unlimited access to the curriculum. All of this valued at $1,600. All of this is what you'll be getting in that one-time price of $97. But remember, I asked you something really important in the beginning. How do you know that you are doing it right? How do you know you're doing it right? Who is there to help you? So in that one-time $97 price, I have included one entire month mentorship with me, one-on-one mentorship, free unlimited coaching included in that $97 fee. Okay, guys? So that mentorship, that accountability is what can take you to that level of being profitable consistently. And today, again, like I said, $97 only for you guys right now. So please go here right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Follow along right there, bootcampfordaytrading.com. And this is what you guys will get, okay? Oops, hang on a second. So this is everything that we are going to be going over together, okay? First of all, setting up your workspace. That is so, so important. You cannot drive a Formula One car if you don't even know how to begin with a minivan. And when you guys are in the live market, it is literally the same adrenaline as a Formula One race. It's a proven fact, right? You are in full adrenaline. And if you don't know how to maneuver or navigate your platform, you're going to end up losing. And I have so many students that come to me and they have no idea how to use the platform, and they're doing it with live money. And then, you know, and what happens is that they're defeating their own confidence. And you don't have to worry about that, because you're going to get that completely done with my help. Then we're going to go through this dissection of the trends and the movements, the upward trend, downward trend, and fully understanding that sideways trend, because we will start to understand and respect the areas, that defensive zone strategy, the resistance areas, the support areas. And we're going to find out and really use the power of the breakout trade, because that is where it all happens, right? Because when you could understand how to spot the support area, how to spot the divergences, how to spot the reversal patterns, that is where it is all gonna do it. And remember, you get one entire month, 1 month, unlimited one-on-one mentorship and coaching with me. And all of this is at $97. You could go here right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com. And I am happy to answer any questions that you guys might have right now, or anything at all. I know that this was a little bit fast since we only have 30 minutes, but I really, really, really appreciate you guys being here, taking the time and spending it here with us. And again, thank you so much. Any questions that you guys might have? Because I see the room is full. So hope you guys are there to really take it in. And what's really, really, really important to remember is that day trading is an actual sport. It's an interactive sport. If you're going to be a spectator and sit out in the bleachers, you're not going to be able to get out there on the court and really understand. And that is all what we're going to be doing together. So bootcampfordaytrading.com. Thank you, everybody. And let me know any questions you have. And thanks, David, for having me join you here today.